heads into its elections, a country of 1.6 billion people. We've got Dr. Gulrez Sheikh, who's a geopolitical analyst and who's talking to us about Ukraine and the Western lies. Well, we knew that, but I just wanted to explore a little bit more. Where do the Indian elites or Indian political class, where do they see the Ukraine crisis going, and Russia? Do they see India having a role in negotiating a peace, for example? Can India play a constructive role in global diplomacy now?
Starting onwards, we were wanting that some kind of diplomacy should work, but unfortunately, it didn't work. And there's a part in Constitution, a small point in Constitution of Ukraine, that the president of Ukraine cannot talk to Putin till he is in power. So the Western countries have changed that thing in their constitution so that Ukraine cannot even have any kind of constructive talk with Russia or with Putin. So that means either it wins or either it collapses. It is not winning, it is losing hard, and Russia is winning big. But we, as an Indian and a non-violent society, we definitely want that this bloodshed should be over. Millions, 500,000 people have lost their life, and still count is going on. The Western media have not shown one thing. I have not read this in any of the mainstream media that on 15th of April, Russia has killed about 900 of Ukrainians in Chasiv Yar. Who's talking about that? They're hiding all those things.
I didn't know. It's incredible. And that's one of the highest death tolls for a single day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And they have also blasted 6 of the HIMARS systems, which were given to them by Americans. And just 15 days back, Zelensky has demanded that for the safety of Ukrainians, he needs 25 more of Patriot systems. That means Russia has already destroyed 25 Patriot systems. They are hiding it from everyone. Initially, what they were doing, that, Kinzhal missiles, they are coming, and our patriots have shot them. Kinzhal, 100% they are detectable to our Patriot missile system, and they are useless. But right now, what the picture we are getting is that even the Germans are asking from Japan that please lend your Patriot systems to Ukraine. Why they are not going directly to United States of America? Because it takes a lot of time in production of these systems, and America cannot produce the bulk they are requiring. They are even not having shells. They were talking about getting artillery shells from the international markets, and they have got till now, I think, around 150,000 shells, which is much, much less than required. So they are losing big. And you ask yourself, you are a European from a NATO country. Pelle, you tell me what will happen of NATO and what all discussions will be there in NATO countries once Russia wins this war. Then all those questions will come on the front. What happened to Nord Stream? Why there is recession? Why we were involved in this war? Right now they are saying that NATO is much stronger than before because Finland and Sweden has joined. My God, you are much weaker because you are going to lose the war. And after losing the war, all the fishes will come out.
Yeah, and so Sweden is like somebody who joins the party after the party's over or something, you know? It's really the worst timing in history, in my view. Well, you seem to have a very perceptive... is there a difference between the Hindi language media and the English language media in their writing about Ukraine? Because am I right to say that the English-speaking liberal elite in India, they're quite attuned to the United States and Britain still, and they take on those perspectives? Is there a conflict there between the two media cultures in India?
Just the Hindi media is much more showing the correct picture compared to English media. English media, actually, they outsource their news on international issues from the Western media outlets, let it be Reuters or let it be BBC. So they are saying all the same things which Western media is propagating. But Hindi media, They actually go by other sources. Plus, social media is such a thing. If you start researching on social media, you come to know what's going on and what's true and what's false. Do you know? I think most of your viewers, because I have taken the snapshot for you for your show only,
Hmm.
because
Okay.
do you know that on 31st of March, actually Russia sent Ukraine a letter via Ukrainian embassy in Belarus, and there is a Ukrainian embassy working still in Belarus, in which they said other barbaric bombs attacks took the life of journalists. They have named multiple journalists in Russia, and they have also talked about Dugina, Alexander Dugin's daughter, and they have also talked about Crimean Bridge, in which 5 Russians were killed and 42 others were wounded. But what they said after that, this is a very big thing. The killing and mutilation of civilians, including children, was accompanied by raids by the terrorist organization known as Russian Voluntarian Corps. And these were the people who were trying to go inside Russia and
Hmm.
before the election which was going on there in
Mm.
Russia, but Russian army failed it. In this regard, Russian foreign ministry has put forward a demand from the Ukrainian authorities under the International Convention for Suppression of Terrorist Bombing and International Convention for Suppression of Financing of Terrorism to immediately arrest and extradite every person implicated in about
Right.
terrorist acts. And what name they have given? One of the demand is to arrest the head of security service of Ukraine, that is Velizny Melyuk, who cynically admitted on March 25th
Yeah.
that Ukraine was behind the bombing of Crimean Bridge. So now these letters they are sending, these are same kind of letters which United States of America was sending to Afghanistan after 9/11. Now what will happen after this? After 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 more letters, they will start anti-terror operations in Ukraine.
Right. So this is a little notice document, basically, that the Russian embassy in Belarus is giving notice, basically, to the Ukrainians that there could be an anti-terrorist operation on the model of the war on Afghanistan, which was done after 9/11, which of course was an anti-terror operation because the Afghanistan was thought to harbor bin Laden, who is the alleged
Yes.
mastermind, and the Russians are preparing for something like that. But no one notices it because the Western media are stuck in their narratives. But you noticed it
They don't
because
show
you
it.
have
But they
well,
don't
the
show it.
Hindi media. So we got to wind up there. Um, so basically, we got time for one more statement. Do you think then Russia is going to start an escalate the war against Ukraine? You've got one or two sentences to make this point.
Let the ground dry, because still there is
Yeah,
some kind of wetness on the soil,
yeah.
and after that you will see a big operation against Ukraine, and I think that Chesapeare
Okay.
will fall
Sorry, a big
before
operation
Victory
against
Day.
Ukraine very shortly. That's the Hindu press perspective, and they have very interesting sources. And who's to say they're wrong because they've been right on a lot of other things in the past 2 years. This is Pelle Neroth Taylor Show. Thank you very much, Gulrez.